So, Terrence Bud Crawford is the real deal Holyfield. I told you all this. I told y'all that Crawford was going to basically walk all over Spence. And I also said, I hope that it wouldn't happen because I wanted to see a good fight. But this fight here was, this was a fucking Crawford demolished him from the second round. Like, Crawford started from the first, honestly. Crawford's jab was on point. Crawford's speed was on point. Crawford's strength was on point. Crawford's timing was on point. Crawford's IQ was on point. Crawford's game plan was on point. Crawford's execution was on point. Everything Crawford could do no wrong. Crawford could do no motherfucking wrong. And that's what happens when you have fighters on a different level who are on totally different levels. This was someone playing chess and somebody else playing checkers. You know what I'm saying? No, shout out to Errol Spence first. I want to give a shout out to Errol Spence. Thank you for taking this fight, taking this risk, and putting yourself in a position to be great. You dared to be great, Errol Spence. You dared to be great. Now, when you dare to be great, when you take risks, sometimes they don't always pan out. All right? But this time it did. And, that's the way it happens. If everybody took risk and if there was no risk, then there would be no reward. And this fight could have gone, Errol Spence could have surprised everybody if he went in his bag and had timing and he had speed and he had IQ. But those are the things that I never saw Errol Spence display or exercise or implement. And Crawford has always implemented speed, timing, IQ, game plan, strategy. So everyone Crawford has been fighting him in Bomac. They've been taking notes and seeing what worked, what didn't work. They've been breaking down their opponent before the fight, coming up with a game plan. Now that's over. After we officially recognized that Crawford did an outstanding job and he was levels above Spence, what does this say about the stable of Derrick James? Okay. What does this leave Ryan Garcia? What does this leave Anthony Joshua? What does this leave Frank Martin? What am I talking about? Well, this fight was a one-sided fight. I don't care if you're a Spence fan or whoever. This was a one-sided fight. I pretty much knew this was gonna. I knew this was gonna. I have the receipts to prove it. I put my money up and everything. And you have Derrick James, who was trainer of the year last year because of Errol Spence. And or Jamel Charlo. All right. So what does that say? What does that say? Now, Errol Spence was their flagship boxer. Okay? Everybody came to Derrick James because of Errol Spence. All right? So you have all of these other fighters who joined the bandwagon, the Derrick James bandwagon. This has got to rattle them to the core. This has got to, when you, and what am I talking about? When you join a group, they thought that they were joining the cream of the crop. They thought Errol Spence was the cream of the crop. They thought Jermell Charlo was the cream of the crop. But this one-sided fight, it shows Derrick James either, I don't want to put this on Derrick James alone, because Derrick James wasn't in the ring throwing punches. That was Errol Spence. But you have to wonder, did Errol Spence just not implement the game plan of Derrick James? Or was there just plan A and no plan B by Derrick James? If Spence implemented what Derrick James taught him, which is only a plan A, and Derrick James did not have a plan B, what does that say about him as a trainer? Now, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know what was talked about in the game plan for Spence for Crawford. I don't know. I'm just on the outside looking in, and me on the outside, I saw a one-sided fight. I saw Spence go in there with one game plan and one game plan only. So, as someone from the outside looking in, you have to wonder, was there just one game plan? Or were there multiple game plans and Spence just didn't implement the alternative or the backup game plan? This video is stating that I'm assuming that there was only one game plan. Break them down. Break them down. We're going to break them. Break them. Break them. So, that's all we've seen Errol Spence do. So, what's going to happen in future fights? Is Derrick James going to take this? And what is Derrick James going to learn from this? Because everyone loses. Like he said, everyone loses. But what is he going to learn? What are the thoughts of Ryan Garcia? The thoughts of Anthony Joshua? Frank Martin just got out of a tough fight. His last fight was tough. So, you have to wonder what is going through their minds to see their stablemate, Errol the Truth Spence, get whoppled, to get bulldozed, to get mollywopped. He got beat from the opening round to the closing round. He got beat from the blue corner to the red corner. He got beat in all four corners of that boxing match. Ryan Garcia might wonder if this is the right decision. Or will they say Crawford is just on another level? Will they concede and just say, hey, Crawford is just on another level? He's too good for Derrick James and company. I don't know. Will other fighters look at Derrick James' camp, stable, and previously they may have been under the belief that his camp All of his boxers went unbeatable. But now that their boxer, their main boxer, Derrick James boxing star, has been put on his ass 4 times, they might start questioning Derrick James. They might start questioning his game plan. Is Derrick James the best trainer for me? These thoughts have got to go through someone's mind because we're all human, right? These thoughts that I'm having as an outsider these questions have got to enter the mind of not only Derrick James fighters, but the people who are to be facing Derrick James fighters. Are Derrick James fighters really that good? Regardless of how good you think Terrence Crawford is. Now, if people just give Terrence Crawford his credit and be like, man, he's levels above everybody, then that's one thing. Then this idea would be a fleeing idea questioning Derrick James. But if they don't give Terrence Crawford credit, and they have to say that it was Errol Spence and Derrick James, why did they lose? Why was Errol Spence not just outclassed, he was severely outclassed? Why was it? Was it bad execution? Is Errol Spence really not that good? Is Derrick James not a good trainer? These questions are going to enter the mind of Anthony Joshua, of Ryan Garcia, of Frank Martin. And those are questions that anybody would have. Because when you get beat like that, getting beat is one thing. Everybody gets beat. But to get beat in that manner, that was I mean, even if it was just a second round KO, and that would be something else. That would be, damn, that was a lucky punch. But this wasn't no lucky punch. These were methodical, well-executed punches and game plans. So, I guess my question is, what's Ryan Garcia going to say? Because he's just coming off of a loss against Tank Davis by knockout. And he left Joe Goosen to come over to Derrick James, thinking that Derrick James, Errol True Spence were the cream of the crop. They're not. But it showed that. Anthony Joshua left his trainer, Robert Garcia, after he lost against Usyk. Anthony Joshua not just had a fight, but he had a fight with a journeyman, and he didn't look levels above his opponent. So, what does it say? What does it say? So those are my questions. I don't have the answers to them because I'm not in their heads. I'm not in the mind of Errol Spence, Derrick James, Ryan Garcia, Anthony Joshua, Frank Martin. I'm I'm not those guys. I'm not in their heads. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm just a guy who I'm sure is just stating obvious questions that are being asked, either within themselves or within the camp or in the boxing community. So, what do I hope for? I hope for some more fights. I hope for some more good fights. Do I want to see Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford rematch at 154? I mean, I'm not begging for that fight now. I'll watch it. It's kind of like what other fight did I want to see? But it was big. But it got built up though. The Wilder Fury trilogy. The second fight, Deontay just got fucked up and yeah. So he changed trainers, Deontay Wilder, so that gave him some sort of yeah, let's talk about that. Will Errol Spence change trainers? Because obviously, whatever they did didn't work. Whatever him and Derrick James worked on did not work. I don't know if it was the execution or the planning or what, but it didn't work. And Wilder Fury 3, at least Deontay Wilder changed trainers. You know, so there's that. Will Spence change trainers? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions that must go through his mind. These questions, even if they're not spoken out loud anywhere else, these are questions that have to go through someone's mind. Like, hey, where did I go wrong? Or where did we go wrong? Did I make the right decision doing this, this, and this? And somewhere the trainer's like, damn, do I need a new trainer? Because there was a short circuit somewhere. Or, again, Crawford is just that much more skilled, that more talented, that more accurate. His IQ level is on it. And that's what I gathered from that fight. Crawford is just too good for Spence. I don't care if he had Custo Automato. I know I'm fucking up his name. Or Teddy Atlas. Or whoever. Crawford is that good. There's nothing that anybody can do for Errol Spence so that Errol Spence would have won that fight. Nothing. And that's how I'm taking Errol Spence just does not have what it takes. And that's not a diss on Errol Spence. That's just reality. You can't generate IQ. You can work on timing. Can't generate athleticism, strength. All of the elements Crawford used to beat Errol Spence, you cannot just work on. No trainer is just going to come in and just raise your IQ. So in that light, meaning that Crawford is just so much better than Errol Spence, then there's nothing really anybody else can do. Let's take this as an outlier. You can take it as an outlier. Just be like, hey, he beat us. But I mean, as a boxing analyst, you're gonna have to go back and figure out. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. The boxer and the coach, whatever coach or trainer he chooses, they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board and go back there and rewatch that entire fight. Because I think Errol Spence, I think he submitted his request for a rematch after sitting down with his team and analyzing that fight. I think once he analyzes that fight and see all of the areas that Crawford dominated him in, I think he might have second. I think he might have reservations about taking that rematch, especially this year. You might want to do like Deontay Wilder, and get a fight in between times. I know Errol Spence don't like no tune-ups, but bruh, but see, the thing about it, another thing is that Errol Spence has got to go back and basically change his whole style. Because what other fighters are going to do, they're going to take everything Crawford did and be Errol Spence. So there's that. There's that. And they're going to look at him and say, damn, he is beatable after all. So I just want to see good fights. Am I disappointed about last night's fight? No, that was a good performance by Terrence Crawford. And it answered a lot of questions. They answered a lot of questions. We really got the truth last night, pun intended. We really got the truth. Terrence Crawford is just that much better than Errol Spence. And no matter who Errol Spence gets to train him, no matter what game plan they come up with, there's nothing that's going to beat high IQ, timing. Power and speed are negotiables. You can get bigger power, you can work out, get stronger. Timing, high IQ, nothing's going to come in and fix that. And that's what Crawford has. And thank you for watching. I'm out.